Welcome to the Marriage Co. Establishing effective communication through spiritual growth. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hello. This is the Marriage Company. The Marriage Company is on live. Come on in. The Marriage Company is here.
You gonna rap tonight? Go
Yeah.
ahead, flow.
I'm gonna flow. I told her I can touch the sky. She told me, baby, let's fly from the mountain high, valley low, overflow, Marriage Company on the go.
Get ready to start.
Come on in. Cause we about to do this. Cause we knew this. We true to this. We need one. We need one to go. One to show, one to go. One gonna know, one gonna show. Come on, we got one. Will there be one? Will there be one? Will there be one more? Will there be one more? The Marriage Company.
All right, you guys.
Changing lives.
All right, you ready?
We are ready.
Let's go.
Are we ready to go?
Yep, I'm fixing to get ready to start it.
We getting ready to start.
Hi, you guys. This is the Marriage Company, establishing effective communication through spiritual growth.
Yes.
And tonight, we're going to be talking about love and conversation with goals.
Yes, we're going to be talking
Marriage
about
goals.
marriage goals. We're going to be talking about our own personal 4 marriage goals.
And I'm telling you guys, some of this last one, we got a 1 through 4 right here. And that last one might get kind of deep, so you might want to put your children to sleep.
Yes, okay. The first goal, I'm just going to give you 1 through 4, then we're going to go back and talk about them. The first goal that we have in our marriage is grow together, and then we expound on how do we grow together. The second goal is to stay together, and then we expound on that later on. And the third goal in our marriage is to challenge each other. And the fourth and final goal is
Don't tell them the fourth one.
Healthy blank as Christians. Okay? That's healthy blank as Christians. Right?
That's right. So
Okay.
Since we're going to talk about growing together spiritually, I'm going to let Riley actually, give a little bit of his intake on that. With spiritual, financially, and emotionally.
Right. Okay, the first goal that we have as the Marriage Company, as Riley and Tasha, is spiritually. The spiritual goal should always be the first goal in any relationship. And I would say it's self-explanatory, but I'm going to expound on it a little more. I say spiritual because what the Bible says, it says that a marriage is a 3-string cord, and a 3-string cord is not easily broken. And the 3-string cord that's a husband, that's the wife, and that's God. And so in a marriage, without God as the head, then you already starting off kind of like behind the power curve, so to speak. And so we emphasize, even in a relationship, you should always have God as a head. If you're dating, if you're in a marriage, if whatever, even in friendship, spiritually should always be the first goal in a relationship. Now, what do you think?
I think everything that you said is good, babe, especially with, the spiritual part of it. Everybody doesn't flow spiritually in a relationship. They think that they, maybe can go without it. And the truth be told, if 2 people can actually get along together, and not knock each other's heads off, then, that's cool as well. But of course, we're talking about, what we got going on, spiritual in our relationship. And that's one of the most important things for me and Riley. We both are believers. We're on one accord with that. And so it helps with the other piece of, being financially, stable and, emotionally, being able to support each other.
I totally agree. And the third thing we do in our relationship goals is the financial piece. And the financial piece is important because I always say this. It's hard for a woman to want to be romantic when the lights are off and the AC don't work and you catching the bus and there's no food in the house. So the financial piece in a relationship is a very, very important piece. And it's not about, I can't say it's about the money all the time, but money plays a very significant part in a relationship. And so it should always be part of your goal in a relationship to sit down and talk about the money. Talk about the finance. How much does your mate make? How much do you make? What are the bills in the house? What are you trying to save for the future, long term, short term? And so the financial piece for Tasha and I, even before Tasha and I got married, we were saving money, right?
Right.
Yeah, we were saving money. And so because we knew that we didn't have a wedding, but we had a reception. And so we didn't want to have a reception and be on anybody. And so we started saving money even while we were dating because we wanted to be debt free out of the reception. And we also wanted like a little nest egg. And we only dated, I'm talking like we dated for years. We only dated for like 90 days. And so, but we were able to save quite a bit of money in 90 days because we were focused, and we'll get to that later on. But the financial piece is an important piece. And I don't, if I can talk to the men out there, I don't want the men to get caught up in if your wife make more than you, because if you're married in a relationship, all the money go in one pot. Right. All the money go in one pot anyway. So it don't matter if your wife make $10, $20, $30, $40,000 more than you. It doesn't matter. You still a man. So don't be insecure about your wife making more money because it goes into one pot. And another thing with the financial piece, and this is just me speaking, whoever in the house is the best with the money, if your wife is a better bill payer, if she's better at investing, if she's better in saving the money. I know you the man, I know you tough and all this other stuff, but if she is better at taking care of the business, the financial business of the house, man, let her take care of it, because at the end of the day, you want to grow, and you want to grow financially in your relationship. And if your wife is better at, in our household, I tell anybody, Tasha run the finances. She has the checkbook. Matter of fact, a quick story. I remember one time, was I going to go buy a car? I was going to go do something, and I was taking some money out the bank, and I went to the bank, and them jokers wouldn't give me no money. They wouldn't give me no money because Tasha was something on the paperwork or whatever. But them jokers wouldn't give me no money, and I literally
went inside the bank and
right.
was mad. It's
right. I raised hell because I'm like, what you mean I can't get my money? But I had to call Tasha because Tasha set the stuff up a certain way, and so
no, I didn't set it up where you couldn't get the money. That was on the bank, so we got that straight.
Right, we did get it straight, but because Tasha is a better bill payer, because Tasha don't pay the bills when they're due. Tasha pay the bills before they're due. I pay the bills when they send me the notice. And so when they send me the notice, that's when, to me, that's when it's time to pay the bill. So when Tasha and I got married, it was a no-brainer as far as our financial goals, who was going to be in charge of our finances. And so I'll let you speak on the finances.
Well,
Ms. Riley.
And we're not going to stay on this, long and try to make it a class, but we just do want to give you guys a couple of nuggets on, how to kind of handle a couple of things, or how we handle, things in our relationship. And, financially, Riley does let me handle a lot. That doesn't mean that, and I tell them all the time, that's something that I didn't want to sign up for, but it's something that, I'm just more gifted at. And so, it has to be handled. And so it's handled in that way.
I'm not ashamed.
It's not.
I'm not ashamed.
It's not that, I just want to, be bossy or be controlling over our finances. I don't want to do that.
She bossy though. She is bossy.
I'm a little bossy.
You are, but go ahead.
But I know where my strengths are, and so being able to handle that, I handle it. And
you do a great job. You do a great job handling our finances.
And Riley doesn't has a problem with that, but we do a quick one of the goals that we do if it's something and it's a check that comes in and the check is more than $500 and it's in his name, he doesn't have to tell me. If it's me, I don't have to tell him.
Right.
So I don't know what y'all think about that.
Yeah.
But in every marriage, I think that you should have a treasure box. Right.
This is our marriage. We're not saying that your marriage has to go exactly like our marriage. We're just sharing our goals in relationship as far as certain things. When it comes to saving money, even though we have one account where we both put money in it, I believe you also should have separate accounts. Not secret accounts, but just separate accounts. Because sometimes I want to do something special for my wife. And if she know every move I'm making financially, then maybe I can't buy something real nice for her because she'll know, okay, $500 missing. What's going on? Well, I might have took that $500 and tried to buy you a tennis bracelet. And so it's important that you also have a separate accounts for balance in your relationship. Because sometimes, people might need to, family, friends might need to borrow money. And so I don't have to go running to my wife saying, hey, such and such need to borrow, $50. No, it's already in my account. And so separate accounts is good, but I don't believe in secret accounts in marriage and relationships. I do not believe in secret accounts. But I also believe that if Tasha decide one day to smoke crack, and blow
now we warming up, y'all. We warming up.
If Tasha decide to go smoke a rock and blow everything that we have, I believe that I need at least enough money to be able to survive for like 3 to 6 months. Realistically.
So you leaving me?
No, but I'm saying if you decide to do something crazy, I believe you should have enough money separately from your spouse to be able to live on for 3 to 6 months.
Understood.
Not that it's a secret. I just believe that you need, what Mama said, a child need their own.
Okay.
A child need their own.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, a child needs their own. So, yeah.
So now let's talk about staying together no matter what.
Okay, our third goal in our relationship and our marriage is staying together no matter what. Divorce for the Rileys, for Riley and Tasha, divorce is never an option. No matter how mad we get at each other, and how heated it gets, divorce is not an option. I'm going to say that again. Divorce is not an option. Now, I've slept on the couch. I have been 38 hot, as my daddy say, but never has divorce crossed my mind as an option in our relationship. Never. What about you, babe? Candid, be for real.
No, I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly that I was just talking to a friend this morning, and I was just sharing about the assignment of our marriage. And one of the things that the way I look at it and it keeps me focused is that our relationship is an assignment from God. And so in order for me to get promoted, I have to stay on the assignment. And so basically it's like if I quit on God. So I put my all into our relationship. I put my all into even when, I might have a disappointment there. I might, be a little heated about something, don't agree with you about something. I look at it as an assignment. And, it's crazy that people would actually in relationship, they will focus more on their education than their marriage. They'll focus more on the children than their marriage.
Job,
because
the job,
if you're married, if you're married, even in a blended family, and you have kids, if you guys break up, the family becomes broken. And so you have to not let nothing separate you, nothing come between you, no matter what. If you see where, it's a curve there, then get some help. Talk to somebody, talk to a professional, talk to your pastor, or talk to somebody that that has a stable marriage, that has wisdom, and actually, get some pointers, from them, because people that's been married, for years, it ain't been perfect. It's been some stuff going on, in the relationship, and they definitely can give you some points on, how and why they are still together.
To add on to what my wife says, since we're in the middle of a global pandemic, I have noticed that the marriage rate, the divorce rate in marriages has increased significantly. And it has increased because, to add on to what my wife was saying, because when you're having trouble in your marriage, you can hide behind your job. You can hide behind your work. And so you can stay late at work because you don't want to go home to a bickering husband or a bickering wife. You can stay late. So that's an excuse. When you're having trouble in your wife, you can hide behind the kids. The kids have a ball game. You're running them over here, baseball, football, soccer, or whatever. You can hide behind your family. I got to go take mama this and brother this and stuff like that. But during the pandemic, when this thing got shut down, you were no longer going to work. You were no longer taking the kids to soccer practice. You were no longer spending time with your mom because of the safety measures. And so during the pandemic, you got a chance to be at home with your spouse, with your wife, and with your husband. And what happened, you found out that you really didn't like them Cushites. You found out that you really outgrew them in your marriage. You found out that you had changed and maybe they didn't. Or maybe they changed and you didn't. And so what happened during the middle of the pandemic, I've seen people that were married 10, 15, 20 years. All of a sudden, they're getting a divorce. But they're getting a divorce because they outgrew one another. And the pandemic exposed their relationship. To what my wife was saying, it exposed what they had going on in a relationship. And so, like we said in the beginning, divorce is never an option for the Rileys. No matter how we argue, no matter what we go through, it's just...
Are we ready to talk about sex?
No, we're not going to, no. And then the third thing we're going to talk about in our relationship goals is...
You said, okay.
The third thing is...
We've been on number 3 for I don't know how long, so let's...
No,
we on number 3 for real this time.
Number 3 is... what we do as the Rileys... Every day, we challenge each other to be the best version of ourselves. And you can expound on that.
Well, I'm just going to share this part right here. When me and Riley actually, got married, and I just wanted to know what it was that he saw in me. He just said that he saw himself, that I was the reflection of him.
Exactly.
If he could I guess maybe to your feminine side. I ain't even know how to put that thing, but be in touch with your feminine side. You would be me, a nicer version of me.
Yes, you were.
So, and I always look at that as carrying his last name, with pride. I really just, being the best version of, each other is like me thinking about, I carry your last name, so I don't go around just showing out everywhere, because I don't want to embarrass you. I don't go around looking at me in face and doing all that kind of stuff, or telling people about what you did to me to hurt me and all of that, because I protect you, because I love you. And I carry your last name with pride. And I am a reflection of you. And you are a reflection of me.
Baby, 100%. When you're in a relationship, you got to understand. Man, when you're not with that person, you still represent that person. You're the brand of the marriage. You are the brand. And so when you do go to the mall, or you go out of town, or you go on vacation without your spouse, you still represent that brand. There's still rules of engagement that you must comply by. Because like what Tasha said, if I'm not with Tasha and I see an attractive, beautiful woman pass by me, I can't be like, oh my God, such and such. No, I represent her. I can't do that.
I don't want to slap him with this feather.
And I just can't do that. Now, I'll probably put on some shades and get a look, but, that's me. But that's still respect, putting on shades, taking a look. But that's me. But your marriage is a brand, and you represent that brand 24/7, 365 days a week. Right. You represent that brand. I'm not going to disrespect my wife by gawking at another woman's booty. Now, I didn't say I didn't look. I said I'm not going to disrespect her by gawking at another woman's booty, and vice versa for her, because she's my brand, I'm her brand, and I'm going to always carry myself in a way that a woman is not going to assume Riley is flirting or Riley is looking. No, I'm her brand. I represent her. And
I appreciate that, Riley.
I'm not going to let a woman think that she one-up my wife because of how I'm acting. No. Whether a woman is my friend, whether a woman is a customer, whether a woman is my relative or my children, no woman is going to think that she has even my mother. No woman on this earth is going to think that she has a greater role in my life than my wife.
I love my mother.
No, mama don't come first. My daughter don't come first. Children don't come first. Female friends don't come first. No, Tasha number one. There's no number two. I'm not saying I'm going to be in a relationship with you, but my wife is number one, and I'm going to always rep and represent that brand. I'm not going to have her looking like a fool out here because I'm out here flirting and acting a fool. No, that's...
And Riley is really a nice, friendly guy. So, a woman could actually think that, Riley is trying to charm them, but I don't. I know my husband, and I know that a lot of people say, well, I know my husband such and such. I know that he's a man, but he's kept by God, not me.
Right.
I'm just his prayer warrior. I'm his intercessor. So I'm praying for him, and we've been praying this prayer for years, that I have eyes only for him and he have eyes only for me.
Right.
So that's something that when we're praying together, that is like our motto, that I got eyes only for you, Riley, and you got eyes only for me, and I want it to stay that way forever.
And a day.
Yes. So with that being said, we're gonna go into our bedtime discussion, and I was trying to play a little love music, but
okay. Our last and final goal in our relationship is to have healthy sex as Christians. Mm. And before I expound on that, let me go to the Bible first. Let me go to Hebrews 13:4, and I'm gonna read it. Hebrews 13:4 says, King James Version says, marriage is honorable in all, and the bedroom undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. Now, I'm not worried about the whoremongers and the adulterers, because ain't nobody listening to that, a whoremonger or an adulterer on this phone call or this live. I'm paying attention to marriage is honorable in all, and the bed is undefiled. The only thing I'm paying attention to is the bed is undefiled. And so, as Christians, we're not going to avoid the sex part as being a Christians. As Christians. But there's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to give some facts. And my wife don't know about this.
Some facts?
I want to give...
This the part I was scared of. We going to start asking me questions.
No. This is really for the ladies. This is for all the ladies looking, okay? Now, I brought my bag of tricks.
Oh, my God.
Okay, hold on now. Hold on now. Basically, ladies, well, the men can listen to, but basically, ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 kinds of men sexually out there that you deal with. I'm going to say again. There are 3 kinds of men sexually that you deal with. The first kind of man that you the first kind of man that you deal with, ladies, is a Mandingo. This is the Mandingo. A Mandingo, look at that. A Mandingo, he way too big. He gonna kill you.
Oh my God.
He gonna hurt you. He gonna hurt you. You don't want to deal with a Mandingo. A Mandingo, he way too big. You don't need a Mandingo. Throw him away.
Oh my God.
The second kind, okay. And the third kind, I done lost my other thing. The first kind you deal with is a Mandingo. The second kind you deal with is a Tickle Me Elmo. You don't want to tickle me Elmo because the only thing you're going to be doing is laughing, ladies. So don't get with a Tickle Me Elmo. Tickle Me Elmo, he ain't no good. You throw the Tickle Me Elmo away. And the third one you're going to deal with, where my thing at? It's going to be the size of this paper. That's called the average Joe. So there's three kinds of man you deal with. That's a Mandingo, an average Joe, and a Tickle Me Elmo. You want the average Joe, ladies. And hopefully the average Joe will be, saved. Amen. All right. I just want to talk about the three sizes of Christian men Christian men, the Mandingo, the average Joe, and the Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh my God, Riley.
Because listen, I said that to say this.
Explain.
I said that to say this. Sex does matter in your marriage. As Christians, sex does matter. Studies have shown that sex does matter in your marriage. And so as Christians, we're not going to avoid the sex piece because people need to know, first of all, you need to be married to have sex. That's according to the word of God. You need to be married to have sex. And then second of all because you're a Christian, that doesn't mean that you have to have boring sex. The Bible says in Hebrew that bedroom is undefiled. That means if you got to go to Starship.
Oh my God, here we go again.
That means to me, if you got to go to Starship and get some help, then you go to Starship. If you got to read some books, then I ain't saying look at the videos. No, the video, you're going to hell. You're going to hell if you look at the videos. But read the books. Talk to married. Talk to married. No. Talk to married people because healthy sex as Christians is important. Having sex as a Christian is not just a missionary position. No, it's more than just a missionary position. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
You have to, healthy sex as a Christian is a communication piece. So you have to communicate to find out what your wife like. She has to communicate to find out what you like as a Christian. It's not just a boring like Little House on the Prairie sex. No.
Okay.
No, you need wigs. You need props. You need feathers. You need baby oil. You need Luther Vandross. You need a lot of different stuff. But again, the bedroom is not undefiled as a married person. I emphasize married person. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and expound on it.
Oh my God. Riley is hilarious 24/7, even at home. But what he's saying about, sex and me and Riley have, you don't have to be a swinger to have an open relationship to talk to people about sex. You just have to be wise about who you're talking to, about your sex if you're talking to them to try to help them or minister to them. And so, we're talking to you guys about, the important part of sex in a relationship, and being in a marital relationship. Me and Riley, we actually got married 90 days. Not just 90 days because we were just so in love, but we wanted to be in a position to be pleasing unto God. And so we didn't want to burn that bed up, so we went ahead and got married.
Well, the Bible says it's better to marry than to burn. And so basically, I assume that, get married instead of just having this this sex and you're not married.
Well,
Yeah.
both of us then had sex before, and
Our marriage.
and haven't been married,
Right.
and we learned from we bettered some things in relationship to seal the deal with us. Everybody doesn't believe that. People live together and they have sex, and don't live together and have sex and do all that kind of stuff all the time, and they relationship, might be solid, as they would say, or they're fine, or don't put no pressure on me about getting married or whatever. Everybody don't want to hear that. We're not here to judge nobody because
Right.
we've been there
Right.
before.
Right.
But what we want to tell you is that being married, we know both sides, and being married and having sex is definitely something different for us. It's intimate for us, and it's solid. So the communication piece with being secure, and in our relationship, that's just a part of how we are securing things in marriage. It's so many different moving pieces and part that come with, not being married or something. If I wasn't married to Riley and something happened to him or something happened to me, then he wouldn't be able to receive the benefits of that because we're not married. And so, society says different now, but God says the same. So it doesn't change. God's word doesn't change. And so, we can't tiptoe around it because, people might not want to hear it, but we're going to just give you, the
raw.
The version, yes, the
Right.
raw version of, what it says concern, with the word being involved in it.
I like the interesting word that Tasha used was intimate. And I said sex, but intimacy to me is stronger than sex, because intimacy is me buying the flowers before the the act of sex. Intimacy is when
Foreplay.
it's the foreplay. It's when my wife wake up in the morning, I say good morning, beautiful. Intimacy is the flowers on the counter, the little gift, I'm tapping on her butt during the course of the day. I'm holding her hand. I'm telling her she's beautiful every day, because I'm 52 years old, and you have to look at that physically. I can't do what I used to do, and so it can't just be about the sex. It has to be the impotency.
The intimacy.
I can't even pronounce it, but it has to be that in a relationship, because
Yes.
the truth of the matter is, sometimes men can't perform. But if we intimate with one another, if we still have the love and the communication with one another, then we're gonna find a way to satisfy each other, even if it's mentally.
Right. I mean, you just have
Right.
to you have to find those ways, because we don't never know where life is gonna take us. And if Lord forbid, if somebody gets sick or something happens,
Right.
you already know how to make things work in your relationship. You already know what the intimacy feels like, and it doesn't feel empty. So you have to fill your cup up with more than just sex in your relationship. It is a wonderful piece in the relationship,
But it's not the only piece.
But it's not the only piece
No.
in the relationship.
And if I can go back to our goals, our first goal was grow together. Our second goal was to stay together. Divorce is not an option. Our third goal was that we challenge each other to be the best version of ourselves. And the first and final goal was to have a healthy sex life as Christians, and I emphasize Christians.
And get with Joe, the average Joe.
Yeah, the average Joe. Yeah, I'm a fan of the average
Get you
Joe.
an average Joe.
Yeah, get you an average Joe. I'm a fan of an average Joe. But we're about to wrap it up. We're the Rileys. We had a great time with a marriage company, establishing effective communication through spiritual growth.
And we thank you guys for tuning in and supporting us through this broadcast, podcast, and all that cast. We stay tuned to more love and conversation from the Rileys, and we're going to be giving it to you guys raw and uncut. Peace.
I don't know how to cut it off. How you cut it
Finish.
off? Finish. I'm done.